This is a podcast about our lived experience, which unfortunately includes infant death and subsequent mental health struggles. Please take good care of yourself and only listen if this content feels safe for you right now. We'll still be here when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Judith.
And I'm Alina. We are internet friends turned real-life friends who both experienced the tragic loss of our sons to sudden infant death syndrome in winter of 2021.
In the year after Aiden died, my husband and I both became unemployed. My parents divorced, and we had to move 5 times for various reasons.
And as for me, just a few weeks before my son Quinn died, my then husband had come out to me as a transgender woman and were subsequently divorcing.
It's been a lot.
It's been a lot.
But as long as we're living, we will love our sons deeply and work to make sure that we live a life that makes them proud.
Welcome to As Long As I'm Living podcast.
We're so glad you're here.
Hello, it's Alina from As Long As I'm Living podcast. You might think I sound a little bit different than usual, and I do. I'm sick. We tried to record an episode this morning, guys, and it didn't go well. I'm gonna put some audio from that recording because we did have a good conversation. It's our brains aren't working, it's chaotic, and the audio quality is absolutely horrific. As I kick you over to that episode, you'll hear I'm talking about Quinn's death anniversary, which just passed last week. He's been gone for 2 years. So anyway, what follows is some rambles. We think this is pretty definitely our worst episode ever. So I'm going to link you guys to a couple of other podcasts in the description that maybe you want to listen to instead of ours. But if you want to hear our ridiculous voices, actually, Judith's audio sounds fine. I sound terrible for once. So if you want to hear my ridiculous voice and Judith's lovely voice, keep listening. And if you want to hear a better produced podcast, go to the description and click on some links. So with that, good luck listening to this in your ears. I tried to edit out coughing. Okay, bye. How's my audio now?
It's much better. Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's start over. Hello. I miss you. No, we already just started over. I just did a little audio swap, so hopefully it sounds a little bit better.
A little bit better.
My voice is still going to be rough, so sorry.
Well, that's okay.
So anyway, I feel like this death anniversary, leading up to it, I was feeling, I wasn't feeling as distressed this year as last year. But one thing that I thought was interesting, last year on the first death anniversary, I found myself really consumed with flashbacks to the day of his death. This year, I've been finding myself, and this didn't stop on his death anniversary, it's unfortunately still been going. It's now a week later. I've been finding myself consumed with flashbacks to the early days of the loss. And I think I have some trauma around the early days of the loss, some unprocessed trauma. Like, do you remember, like, that feeling of your arms feeling so empty?
Yeah.
I've been getting, like, physical flashbacks to that. I've been getting, like, olfactory, like smell flashbacks to, like, the smell of our sheets. I would just lie in bed and we hadn't changed the sheets and the sheets smelled stale. Like, I've been getting like the feeling of like lying on the floor of his nursery like for hours, and like I've been crying a lot, so my eyes have been puffy. I've been getting like a lot of flashbacks to those days, and those are days I don't really think about that much, and I actually don't remember them that well, but I think my body remembers them. And for whatever reason, by coincidence or because my body is keeping the fucking score, I came down with this cold, this sickness the day after Quinn's death anniversary. And so it's been forcing me to like slow down and lie in bed. And I've been feeling like it's like this chest cold, and my chest feels like suffocated, and it's like really just triggering, and I hate it. So I would say I'm not doing so hot overall. How about you?
I wanted to share a thought with you that I wonder if it will resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I've been thinking since this is the thing, you always go through your anniversaries first and then I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Except for
Mm-hmm.
two things, which are holidays. I go through the holidays first.
Yes.
And I went
And
through
you have an
pregnancy
alive
after
baby.
loss. Right. Aside from those two things, you go through them first because of the calendar. And so when I watched you go through Quinn's death anniversary week, I started thinking about Aiden's death anniversary week. And so just like you're kind of reflecting on how it went, I'm kind of anticipating. And even in the anticipation of it, I want to share a process that I think is like integral to my life, which is that when you're first thrown into grief, like the feelings are so big and you have no idea what to anticipate, and it just feels like you're triggered at any moment, and the triggers are so intense and you don't even know what that feels like. So it just kind of feels like you're living on a roller coaster constantly in the pitch dark at the whims of the universe. The way I'm feeling about it 2 years out, and I haven't gone through the death anniversary but the way I think about it now is that I'm able to identify my feelings so much more. I'm able to say I am triggered as opposed to just being triggered. I am feeling really sad and just be sad as opposed to just like feeling like you're lost in the abyss of sadness. And then, which I think this is actually, I think, a superpower, which is that I think I'm starting to develop in anticipation, like understanding what my triggers will be, what the day will look like. And because I'm able to anticipate that a little bit more, I'm able to prepare for it a little bit more. Do you feel like that was true in your most recent experience, or you think things just came out of nowhere again?
I think this Quinn's death anniversary hit me harder than I was expecting. I felt very prepared for it this year. I had a plan. I was feeling pretty good heading into it. The day itself was almost passed like completely without fanfare. Like really, it was not bad at all. I had this whole plan. I was going to wake up in the morning. At the minute that I found him, I was going to really do some thinking and processing, and I did that. I took the day off of work and blah blah blah. These days after have caught me off guard, but I actually think it's the perfect storm of so many other things are happening in my life that it's like I anticipated the death anniversary being hard, but I didn't anticipate or I didn't factor in that I was also going to have stuff with my heart coming up. I feel like my life is changing a lot right now. My boyfriend just moved in. Um, I'm a little I don't even feel like coherent enough to talk about this because I feel like it caught me off guard. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said exactly what you just said, that I am so much better at preparing, so much better at identifying my feelings, and I just really feel like I got knocked on my ass, honestly. And this physical sickness did not help. My therapist is convinced, and I kind of agree with her that it's related to the grief.
I 100% think it's related.
Obviously, germs aren't related to the grief. Like I would have, but
No,
I
but I
would have
think your immune system lowers.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but the whole thing has just really knocked me on my ass. What
Yeah.
am I even saying? This is our
This is
worst episode
this is
ever.
our. I kind of feel like we should start and like stop again. Something is wrong with our brains today.
I genuinely feel like something is wrong with each of our brains. I'm watching you talk, and I can see the same thing is happening to you that's happening to me, which is
I'm
that
getting
like my brain is
confused.
not connected to my mouth.
Okay, let's start and start all over again and just give updates. Okay, so Alina, give me some of your updates in your life. Your boyfriend moved in.
My boyfriend moved in.
You just had Quinn's death anniversary.
I just had Quinn's death anniversary. I have my final test in my gauntlet of heart related tests next week, which is an exercise stress test. So they just like stick me on a treadmill, I think, until I like have an arrhythmia or hopefully don't have an arrhythmia. I'm in the process of starting IVF. I haven't, not like the cycle or the injections or anything, but they're developing a genetic probe. right now to try to eliminate the gene that Quinn had. If you are confused about what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the episode Answers and Questions. I talk about all my heart stuff there. I don't know, Judith, what else?
I'm preparing for Aiden's death anniversary. We were originally supposed to go to Los Angeles to be close to him physically, but it was just too many logistics. It was so expensive. It just wasn't working out. And so I had to come up with a plan B of like how I wanted to go about his death anniversary. So I really took the time to try and anticipate what needs that I would need. And for us, that means we just need to be alone without the responsibility of childcare. And I wanted to be near the water. So we found an Airbnb a few hours away, and we're just going to sit there and hide under the covers. And what else is going on? I got a promotion at work.
Yay!
It's a big deal. I got a promotion at work, and I'm really excited about it because I really advocated for myself, and that feels good. And what else is going on? Things are passively hard, not actively hard.
Wait, oh, hang on, let me see. I feel like I wrote down some stuff to talk about. I have one thing to say, which is that I started my taxes and I had to delete Quinn from my taxes. Literally.
That's not fun.
I had to delete him as a dependent. Oh my god, ouch.
Alina, I don't think that we're very good podcast hosts today. And your audio is still bad. I literally don't even know. I think we should just stop recording.
Let's end it.
To all of our wonderful new friends, we want to hear from you. Email us at aslongasimlivingpodcast@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at aslongasimlivingpodcast. We'll get back to you as soon as our grieving brains allow.
Yay!